Reporting live, this is David from J&N Equipment, and today we're going to show you how to put together the new Graco Airless Finishing Kit. Before I show you how to install this on your Graco Airless paint sprayer, first I want to kind of touch on why someone would be looking to buy this, what's the purpose of this kit, and what kind of value am I getting out of this. All that is really summed up in one word, and it's versatility. Adding the Airless Finishing Kit to your Graco Airless sprayer really opens the door to a lot of possibilities that you can now do with your airless paint sprayer. Everyone out there already knows with a Graco 390, 395, 490, all the way up to a 595. These are great machines for indoor and exterior residential work, commercial work, smaller commercial work. These are great for that type of application, but somewhere where these units really are not best suited for is doing kitchen cabinets in that residence, or doing crown moldings or doors and door frames in that residence. What the Airless Finishing Kit will provide you is the ability to spray fine finish work right out of your Graco machine at a really high quality. You'll be able to do kitchen cabinets, you'll be able to do crown moldings and doorways with ease. And one of the great parts of being able to do that is I'm going to be able to spray this fine finish out of the hopper and using only 25 feet of hose, which that allows me to accomplish the job using half as much material. Because in order to prime the machine, usually you're running 50 feet of line, and out of a 5-gallon bucket, that requires, a few gallons of material really just to get a job started. Where when you add the hopper to your airless sprayer, you're able to use half as much material than you usually would to get the job started and get going. So with as little as 2 quarts of paint, honestly, you could start painting using your Graco sprayer, as opposed to an entire gallon or 2 gallons. Just 2 quarts of paint will get you going. So that's a great the versatility that this gives you is really amazing. And before I go further, I just want to touch on this airless kit can be installed on any version of the Graco 390, 395, 490, 495, or the 595, whether it's a high boy, a low boy, or a stand model. So in this video today, I'm only going to use 2 wrenches to install the Airless Finishing Kit, so you don't need very many tools. And I'm going to go over what's in the kit. The first item we're going to see, the most obvious, is going to be the hopper with the lid assembly. It's also going to come with your bypass line, which also includes this gray piece here that's a U-shape that will use it to attach to the hopper. Going to come with both your gun filter and your manifold filter. These are the blue 100 mesh filters, really good for thinner materials like oils and stains, great for fine finish. It's going to come with your green FFLP 210 tip. Be great for doing crown moldings, doors, and kitchen cabinets. This tip will create a 4-inch wide spray pattern. It's going to come with 25 feet of 3/16 fluid hose. Normal hose is 1/4 inch. This one is a little bit thinner, also helping you save on material. It's also going to come with a 3-foot 1/8 of an inch whip hose. The use of this piece is optional, but it does make the gun easy to maneuver, especially in tight places. It's going to come with this screen filter, which is going to go in the bottom of our hopper. Comes with 2 barbs. We're only going to use one. You're just going to choose the one that fits in your machine. They're 2 different sizes. And the final piece is going to be the part that connects the pump to the hopper, which we see right here. So the first step we want to take is to prepare our hopper. I'm going to go ahead and remove the lid. Take this strainer, and go ahead and set it in its home. Once I've done that, I want to get my bypass line, and I'm just going to line it up here. And you should be able to install it just like that. Once we've got that done, go ahead and put the cap back on. You can see there's a hump here where this is supposed to run through. I'm going to grab my pump connector, remove this rubber boot. This fork here goes right onto this plastic piece, so you just want to make sure it's all lined up as I thread it on. Give it a few turns. Feels pretty good. And now we've got that together, we can go ahead and set this aside for now. Now we want to go ahead and prep our unit. I'm going to turn it a little bit so we can get a good angle on these two parts here. I'm just going to break loose here my bypass line by turning it counterclockwise. Once you get it loose, you can usually get a little hand thread. I will say you'll probably get some leakage here because this is connected to our manifold. So you might get water or paint if your machine is not clean coming out of this area. Just be aware of that. Maybe have a rag or something available in case you do get some fluid coming down there. Once we've got that loose, I want to break loose this fitting here from my foot valve. You would use the larger wrench there. I believe I've already broken it loose before I started this video. So mine is actually already hand tight. Once again, you will have fluid here. Expect to have some rags ready. This is a brand new unit. We might actually get some oil to spill right now from the factory. Hopefully not. And this, we just want to shimmy loose. Just kind of had to give it a little shake there. And you see I just shimmied it right out. We're going to set that to the side. And at this point, we're going to help it find its home. Once again, just like it shimmied in, just like it shimmied out, I'm kind of shimmying it back in there. Want to make sure it finds its home. And now I'm going to carefully just screw this back on by hand. On this part that I'm currently tightening, after I've tightened it by hand, I will usually give it maybe an 1/8 or a 1/4 turn with a wrench. This isn't an area that you really want to crank down on. It's usually not necessary. So I always advise people, you don't want this to be super tight. Obviously, we don't want any leakage, but we also don't want to cause any damage to our foot valve or those threads. So once you get it hand tight, realistically, if you have a good rag, you wrap it on here and crank it with your hand, you might be able to get it tight enough. If you'd want, you could just give it a slight turn with a wrench. Like I say, I wouldn't do anything too extreme, personally. As long as you're not having any leakage issue, it's probably going to be just fine. We're almost complete with our installation. We do still have to install our prime valve, which we're going to take one of these two barbs and we're going to install it here where we removed our prime assembly. So I'm just kind of glancing over at what I just removed to match up the barb size. This 490 appears to want a larger barb. Just gonna look under here and get it threaded in there. A little bit of Teflon there probably wouldn't hurt. Maybe even some blue Loctite, but I would prefer Teflon. The reason for that is most likely you will be installing and uninstalling this kit more than once. So the Teflon will make it easy to come in and out. Once I have my barb in there, I'm just gonna push my hose on over, like so. Little grease might have made that a little easier, but I did get it on there past the 3 barbs. Realistically, that's going to be good enough for us to have this spraying and ready to work. And as you could see here, it was not very difficult. Using just 2 wrenches, I was able to install this kit in about 3 or 4 minutes. If I had to make sure I had everything, I would say make sure you have a couple rags on hand and maybe some Teflon. Thanks a lot for watching. That is the installation of the Graco Airless Finishing Kit by J&Equipment.